Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel so you never miss a session. Before we get started today, we have to give a moment to thank our presenting sponsor, The Rag Company. We have some very exciting news today. Mobile Tech Expo will be returning to the Rosen Shingle Creek in Orlando this upcoming January 27th to 29th. After a great show there in 2020, we look forward to heading back and we hope to see you there. Before Orlando, we of course have our show this August 26th to 28th in Las Vegas at the South Point Hotel and Casino. If you have not already, you can register to meet us there on our website, mobiletechexpo.com. We cannot wait to be all together again. Today, we are joined by Erin Jencks and Savannah Kindmarc, who are marketing and social media directors at Hangar Marketing. Drawing from their successful campaigns for national brands like Costco and US Bank and hundreds of other businesses from across the country, Hangar Marketing demonstrates the ability to identify the most impactful marketing tactics for each budget and competitive landscape. With the complexity of advertising today, it's easy to get lost. The team at Hangar Marketing provides actionable insights to connect customers and brands to get results. Today, Savannah and Erin are here to teach us the 23 best marketing tactics for 2021. Welcome, Savannah and Erin, and thank you for joining us today. Savannah and Erin, we might not be able to hear you.
Can you hear us now?
Yes. Yep. Sorry about that. We can hear you now. If you get me starting again, that would be awesome.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that intro, and sorry about that hiccup. So I'm Erin.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're just going to be sharing with you the 23 best marketing tactics of 2021. So we'll just dive right in.
Okay, perfect. So let's think about, go back 50 years or so, and someone wanted to advertise, and they would contact their local newspaper and just put their advertisement in, and that's all they did. Well, today it's much different. Marketing costs have risen. There's so many more new competitors on the market, so many more platforms to advertise on, and you're marketing towards a different audience. So today we want to just go over that and see how you can best benefit this now market that we have.
Yeah, so we just wanted to start off with talking a little bit about paid search. So this is advertising on search engines such as Google. So the first thing that we wanted to kind of talk about here is Google search ads. So I'm sure that a lot of you at one point or another have gone onto Google and you've searched for something that you're looking for. So let's say that you just found the love of your life and you are ready to seal the deal. And so you go onto Google and let's say you look up engagement rings. Kind of what's shown on the screen there, those first two entries there that have that little ad box on there, those are Google ads. Those are triggered by keywords like engagement rings. These can be incredibly powerful for a lot of reasons. First of all, there's a great synergy that happens between Google search ads like this and your normal organic listings and SEO rankings. So, if you're a detailing company and you are already ranking for car detailing or ceramic coating, and then you also have an ad that says that you do those things as well, when someone searches that and they see your name not once, but 2 or 3 times on a page, thanks to ads and the organic search, they're more likely to trust your brand and more likely to click on that and go to your website. Additionally, a lot of us know that SEO can take a little bit of time to get up and running and to beat out your competitors. So these Google search ads allow you to immediately get on that first page of Google and get your name out there as you strengthen your organic presence as well. I'm sure you've also seen, if you look up in engagement rings or many other products that you've looked up in the past, that you over on the right side, there's something called product listing ads. So basically these ads have a little image, and then they have basically what it is that they're advertising and usually a price that goes along with that. So these can be really powerful because they show off the product that you want to have consumers buying or converting on, but they also have that price right there. So people that go ahead and click on these sort of things are very interested in that product, and usually they know that that product is within their price range. And so the people that's coming to your site is highly qualified traffic that have a very high chance of converting. Also, when you've searched for things on Google, be that jewelry or ceramic coatings or dent repair, a lot of times you'll see this map pack, and that map pack usually has the city that you're in as well as 3 listings. Those 3 listings underneath that map are the most clicked on thing when people are searching for a business or someone to visit. And so those are highly coveted positions. Now, to get there, you need to have really good SEO, good local SEO, but also you can advertise on there with Google search ads as well. And so you can be one of the first things people see when they are searching for a business. And again, that synergy between people seeing your name, maybe first in a text ad, and then again in the map section, and then again in an organic listing, then they see your name 3 times as they're searching for a business to visit. And that can have a lot of power in getting people to already trust that your business has what they're looking for, and they'll be more likely to click on that. Now, you do a lot of work to get people to your website, be that through Google ads, social media ads. It takes a lot of effort to get them onto your website, but the fact of the matter is a good conversion rate, is like 5%, 10% of those people are actually calling you or turning into customers. That means that 90 to 95% of the people visiting your website are leaving. They're not turning into customers of yours. And so it'd be a waste to just let them leave and never talk to them or see them again. And so that's kind of where remarketing comes in. So basically there's a little cookie that's on our website that when someone visits, puts a cookie on them, and then as they're going throughout different websites, we can have advertisements that follow them. So let's say that you've done your NCAA bracket. You're super excited to see how you're doing, and when you go onto that website, you'll see over on the right side maybe some product that you just looked at recently, or maybe you are checking out new banks and you'll see advertisement for a bank that you've seen. So those are basically remarketing ads. It's when you go onto different websites and you see those ads from places that you've visited before. Sometimes it's even the exact product that you've been looking at, and it'll just follow you around everywhere. That's remarketing. Yes, it can be a little bit annoying, but the amount of people that it can bring back to your website is pretty huge, and those people a lot of times have a much higher chance of converting. Also, there's something called Gmail promotions. So this is Google advertisements that you can place within somebody's Gmail. It's pretty simple. You just have your business name, and then a lot of times a promotion or a subject line that kind of grabs someone and makes them want to click on it there. Again, it's very highly qualified traffic that actually click on this ad and then go to your website, as usually they know what you're offering and they want to see more. And so they go to your website to see more. Finally, for Google Ads, if you're in the process or if you've ever collected customer emails, be that through a weekly email that people can sign up for on your website, or maybe when they do business with you, you collect their emails then. If you have a bunch of emails, that can be a really powerful thing as well. You can take those emails and you can actually put them up in Google, and Google will match those emails with their with people's Google's accounts, and then you can have advertisements that go just to those people. So if there's a loyalty ad that you want to give where you know that these people have either done business with you in the past or considering to do business, and you give them 10% off because of that, or you just know that these people know your brand and so they are more likely to interact with your advertisements.
Okay, so on to social. Social media is a big thing these days that we didn't have in the past with advertising. We're now able to reach people kind of in their own, I guess you would say, their own personal realm when they're kind of have their guard down the most. And so they're more likely to convert with this. Social media is really awesome because you're able to put advertisements on their own feed. So I just want to talk about a couple of different advertisement options that Facebook offers. The first one right here is boosted ads. So let's say a Facebook account that's a business makes a post and they want more people to see it, but most of the people that they follow aren't seeing it because it's getting hidden in their feed. Well, let's say we can put $10 behind this Facebook post a day, and it'll boost it to the top of their feed so that the person is more likely to see it, and you can choose for them to engage with it more or different things as well. This just puts them to top of mind awareness for a really cheap price. The next thing here is messenger ads. So this allows the customer or the potential client to click on this messenger app and directly communicate with you right away. This is really awesome because if they have a quick question that they want answered, you'll be able to be there and answer it for them, and then they'll be able to most likely convert because they have their question answered. The next thing is event ads. So let's say you're hosting an annual 50% off discount event that only happens once a year, and it lasts only for 2 days. Well, a person can say that they're interested in this event, and it'll keep notifying them when it gets closer and closer to the event. So that way they are most likely to attend this event. The next one is website ads. This is one that we use quite frequently. It's an ad that just pulls up on their Facebook feed and it sends them directly to their website. They're able to find different information, maybe book an appointment, maybe get your email, a bunch of different options, but it allows the customer or potential client to research your company a little bit more before they convert. And then I just want to talk about how beneficial Instagram is these days. Instagram has 500 million daily active story users every day. So just think about how you could potentially get in front of that audience. And the way that Facebook and Instagram work is that they're connected with one another. And that you're able to pick specific information about this potential client, such as they're a specific type of car lover, or they really want to get this type of car detailed. You can pick those specific things with a detailed age range or detailed location, and it's a great way to get in front of your audience these days. The next thing we want to talk about is how beneficial video is. So video can be used in Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Hulu, and so many more locations. The reason why Facebook is so beneficial is because it costs so much less than, let's say, a still image ad. Let's say someone has a still image versus a video. Well, in a video, you're able to fill the emotion through music. You're able to fill the emotion through the specific lighting, through the detailed wording that they have, through the tone and the inflection in their voice, and many other things. And then it also costs less than having a still image ad, but it converts more because the person is able to feel the emotion through the person in the ad. So we really enjoy video in the digital marketing realm because it has all these different benefits. this is just an example of a video ad, and just when you're scrolling on your Instagram feed or Facebook feed, it'll start playing right away. And it kind of shows up as an organic post. So people don't realize right away that they're kind of being advertised to, which is quite awesome. And then I'll turn the time over to Aaron to finish this up.
Yeah, so YouTube is another place where you can use video quite effectively. One of the things that we love about YouTube is that on there you can advertise in such a way that you actually don't pay for the ad until it has been watched to a certain degree. So let's say somebody is watching a video on YouTube, and I'm sure all of us have been on YouTube, and the minute a video shows up, we just wait the 3 seconds and then we skip that ad. Well, the good news is if someone does that, you're not paying for them. You're only paying for people to actually view your ad past that. And so you're getting way more for your budget, because the people that do watch and then click on it and then go to your website are people that took the time to view that video and didn't just skip it right away. So I'm sure many of us have seen this, just how it looks just like that with the video right on YouTube. And with that option there to skip it. But YouTube can be so powerful because you can choose very specifically what you want your videos to show up for. So you can choose specific audiences, kind of like Savannah was saying for social media, in that you can choose car lovers, you can choose luxury car owners, so on and so forth. But you can go even further than that. We can do the research to find channels that talk about cars, that talk about detailing, that talk about luxury brands. And we can find these specific channels that we think probably have the viewers that we want as customers. And then we can target those channels specifically with a video ad. And so the people seeing that video ad, it doesn't just blast it out to all of YouTube. It's very specific people that we've kind of almost handpicked to see this, to see our video. And the power there is that when people go to YouTube, they're going there usually for one of two reasons, right? It's usually to be entertained, or it's to learn something. And so if they're wondering about detailing, or they're wondering about ceramic coating, and then you make sure that your ceramic coating ad appears on those type of videos, then you can help answer their question with your ad, which gains trust, and then they'll come to your website and have a good chance of converting then. We want to talk a little bit about display ads. These are very similar to the remarketing ads we mentioned earlier, in that they're just these little image ads that we see everywhere on all sorts of websites. And the power and great thing about these ads is that, once again, we can target very specifically to the type of people we want to hit. We can target their interests, we can target their age, their income, and then these ads will follow those type of people. The awesome thing about display ads is that they're kind of like billboards, where people will see them, and it brings a top of mind awareness. But the beauty is that you don't actually pay for these ads until somebody clicks on one. And so that means that display ads get tons and tons of impressions, oftentimes thousands, millions of impressions, but you only pay for those impressions if somebody is moved enough to click on it. And then once they've clicked on it, it means that they're interested enough to go the next step and see what is this really all about, and they'll go on your website. So they're qualified traffic. But the cool thing is that with these display ads showing to so many people, it keeps your brand as top of mind awareness. So you get millions of eyeballs on your brand. And so when the time comes that they have a car that needs servicing or detailing or a coating, that you're the brand that they think of because they've seen you everywhere. The other really, really cool thing with display ads that you can do is you can actually target specific people that visit certain sites. And so if they visit competitor sites, you can target people that go to that URL. You can target people that go to other URLs that you think would be useful for you to target those type of people. And then of course you can target with previous clients as well. And then kind of the scary thing about digital marketing is that Google can look at your previous clients, the people that have converted in the past, and they can kind of figure out what makes them what, and then they can take that and make an audience that's a similar audience, similar to the people that have converted, and then you can target those type of people. And Google, it's pretty good at that. It's pretty good at knowing what we like and what we don't like. And so those similar audiences, once we have enough conversions there, typically perform very well.
Okay, so we did all of this work to get your potential clients to your website, but your website isn't optimized. So one of the first things that we want to talk about with optimizing your website is your mobile first design. Most people view your website on their phones. Let's say they're searching for your location on your phone, or they're clicking a social media ad, or different things like that. So you want to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. So you want your pictures to be properly cropped, or you want your text to be able to fit in all the way so that your customer can read it. You want to have the best user experience so that your customer feels like they can trust you as a brand and a company. The next thing we want to talk about is a squeeze page. This is a page that has no navigation, and its main goal is to get you to convert. And so the purpose of a squeeze page is to also show that you have something for them. You need to be benefit focused. And so here are a couple examples of a benefit focused squeeze page. It has a nice logo, it has a good call to action, and it has a friendly picture, and it's not too distracting. Here's another photo, another example of it. It has really good facts that just is good for converting the client. We offer home loan benefits others can't offer. That's a great benefit that you can show to your client, and it helps them convert right away. Another one right here, this one says worry-free checking. It's just a really short call to action, a simple picture, your logo's right there. It's not too distracting for your client. And then last here, this has a good call to action. Become a member and join in today. Just a really non-distracting page is good for your squeeze page. And Aaron will talk about what different things can be beneficial inside your squeeze page.
Yeah, and then also social validation there is also great for people to see. So we've talked a little bit about some of these components. There's a lot here, but those ones that we mentioned are some of the most important. So that's benefit focused. You're basically answering why us and why now is the big thing you want to answer on your squeeze page. You don't want your call to action to be confusing. It's simple, it's clear. It's good to humanize your brand, to help them know that you're not just some big empire that's just trying to take their money. Just like a lot of those photos had, happy, smiling people, because that's who we are. We're people. But then there's many other different things that we can do here. If you've gotten awards in the past, it's awesome to be able to put that on your website. And you want your phone number there, so it's easy and clear for them to see. So many things that you can do to keep that squeeze page simple and easy while still answering that question, why us and why now? That squeeze page is going to be pushing the traffic, those potential clients, to make a specific conversion action. So if that's a phone call or a web form, that they can do, it's basically kind of funneling them down so that it just makes sense to now do that. Some observations that we've had in some of the squeeze pages that we've worked with in the past is that it's important to avoid a lot of jargon. So it's really easy, especially when we get used to an industry, to use words that make sense to us, but maybe doesn't make sense to someone who's not super familiar with it. And so it's important to kind of keep that to a minimum so that it's clear and easy to understand. Secondly, you want to make sure that there is some great tracking on your squeeze page. You want to track and analyze everything that's happening to the people that you're sending to your website, because you want to know what's working and what's not. If you don't have tracking on there and things aren't going well, then it's hard to figure out what is it that isn't going so well. If people aren't spending a lot of time on there, you can figure that out through the tracking. Then you can figure out, okay, maybe things are a little confusing, or maybe they're not, or maybe our ads aren't appealing to the right people. Again, you want to be able to have remarketing and bring people back to your website, as well as an exit offer. So we'll go into these a little bit more here. So for tracking, we recommend using something like Google Analytics. There's a lot of different tracking platforms out there, but Google Analytics it's free, it's easy to get on your website, and it can do an awful lot. It can be a little confusing at first, but there's a lot of resources both on YouTube, Facebook groups, that can help you kind of figure that out and get used to tracking everything that's happening to your website. You want to know who's coming to your website and what are they doing in order to make intelligent decisions. Something that we have also found that's worked quite well is an exit offer. So that's an offer, I'm sure you've seen it before, where you go on a website, you look at some things, and then you're done. You're ready to leave. And so you go up to the back button, where you're going to exit out of the page, and then a little window pops up. And it usually says, it's usually a little offer that says, hey, let us do, here it says, let's figure out what works for you, and you get free stuff. And all you got to do here is subscribe. And so exit offers can be awesome, because a lot of those people that are leaving, even with remarketing ads, will never interact with your business again. And so being able to get that last exit offer gives you kind of this last chance to get some marketable information from them, or get them to sign up for a newsletter or something like that. And we've seen some pretty awesome success with this, where 1 to 5% of the people that would have otherwise just left ended up interacting with the exit pop-up and signing up for a newsletter or something like that. Something that we actually can't stress enough is to make sure that your website is quick. Now that can be a bit hard, especially with image-heavy sites. Big images tend to slow down websites a lot, but you can optimize those images by shrinking them down, by compressing them, and also by enabling caching for your website. Those things will make your website faster and faster. We've seen, especially as we've worked with a lot of auto detailers and such, because they're such big, heavy, image-heavy sites, that they are a bit slow. And we've seen that as we optimize those images and get them so that they're quicker, conversion rates and time on site and everything just exponentially increase. The slower your website is, the less likely someone is to stick around. We're a society that wants something, and we want it now. We don't want to wait. And so site speed is something that we can really work on, and it'll have huge effects on the people coming to your site.
Okay, so you've done all of this effort to optimize your squeeze page and put all the juicy, good information that you want in there. Well, let me just show you how beneficial that a squeeze page can be. So just from implementing, sorry about that, a squeeze page, one of our customers was able to increase 135% in their conversion rates. And then they were also able to increase in 48% on the time on the site. And then lastly, 15% were to improve they were to improve on their bounce rates by 15%. And then lastly, 53% of the mobile conversions were increased. So it just goes to show that by just changing these squeeze pages, not even changing the ads, not changing anything else, just the squeeze page, you're able to increase in so much more in your conversions and everything else.
Yeah, so a good squeeze page can be incredible. Now, you've done business with people, you've gotten people onto your site, you had an awesome squeeze page, and finally they've become a client. Well, we want to talk just briefly about how important online reviews and recommendations are. And so we just have some stats here. We won't spend too long on them, but there was a study done where people were asked, do you trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations? And you can see here with this little table or this graph that people, a large amount of people, say yes. There's some qualifiers to some of these, like they have to believe the review is authentic, or there needs to be multiple reviews. But nearly 80% of people said yes, that they trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. So that just can show you just how incredibly important good reviews can be. Not only good reviews, but getting multiple good reviews and having more than 4 or 5 reviews for your business. Another question that was asked in a recent survey was, how do you pick a business from Google Local Pack? And 56% of those people chose because of the reviews and star rating. You've probably done this yourself as you're looking for businesses, whether that's somewhere you want to shop or a place to go eat. Reviews have a huge impact. When we see a place has a 4.8 versus maybe the second place is only like a 3.2, we're more likely to click on that 4.8 and at least visit them or check them out before we click on the 3.2. Reviews are incredibly important and have a big impact on if people are going to visit your site or not. Again, another little study here, how star ratings impact click-through rates from the Google Local Pack. So we can see that as the amount of stars that you have increase, or the better your reviews, the more people are likely to click on your business. And we all know the different review sites. There's Google, there's Yelp, there's Facebook. I would say this was done in 2017. We need to get an updated survey here, but I would say that Google has become even bigger, while Yelp is using a little bit of steam there. So reviews, super, super important to get reviews. Now, how you go about getting those reviews, you can do that several different ways. Asking people to review your business is a great way. We have a tool called Review Lift that basically they give you your number and you send them a text, and then that person can just say, yes, I had a good experience, and then they can type the review, and it makes it super easy for them. So you can talk to them in person. There's tools out there that you can use, like Review Lift, that will allow you to make it easier for clients to leave a review. Very few people think about it when they leave a business, but if you talk to them and either ask them in person or you ask them with these tools, they're very much more likely to leave a review. I believe it was less than 5% of people just naturally leave reviews, while when you use one of these tools, you can get it as high as 20%. So as you can imagine, that'll have a pretty huge impact on your business. We love helping businesses, or we love seeing businesses that have gotten 150 reviews, and then they're sitting at a strong 4.8. That's going to have a huge impact on the people clicking on your business and how much people just trust you on the get-go.
So thank you guys so much for listening to this presentation today. Hopefully you're able to take some of these 27 or 23 marketing tactics and apply them to your own business. If you guys are interested in learning more, you can contact us with this contact information below. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Savannah and Aaron, for that awesome presentation. They have left their contact info up there, so if you're watching this later, please feel free to reach out to them. We will also put their contact information in the description box below. We did have one question from Michael Esposito, and he asks, can you please go into geofencing? Do you guys have any tips for that? Any thoughts, final thoughts on that one you can share with him?
Yeah, so you can choose a certain area to advertise to make sure that your ads are showing up to people that are super relevant. So an example of that is we were working with a client that did a lot with like motocross. And they were going to a motocross event, and they wanted people to really know about that and know that they were going to be there. And so we were able to choose just we chose very specific, excuse me, a very specific city for those advertisements to show up for. And we were, and you can exclude certain areas if you don't want that to show up. And then those ads will show up to the people that are very relevant for that certain event.
For sure. And then I was wondering, of all of the tips that we've discussed today, if you challenge people to put one of these tips into play tomorrow, what would it be?
I would say maybe Savannah can have a different answer. We're both over separate things, so our opinions are a little bit different. If I had to say one thing that you could do that would help you in a lot of ways, it would probably just look at your site and increase your site speed. There's a lot of tools that you can use for that. There's one that's webpagetest.org is my preference, but basically you can just take any website or any page in your website and you can just stick it on that and it will test your speed. And you can see if your web page takes more than 3 seconds to load, then you are losing out on business. I think there was a study that Walmart did a while ago where they really buckled down and tried to improve their site speed. And I believe, the study came out and said for every second that they were able to decrease, they got like $1 million more revenue. Anyways, it was pretty substantial. How many more people, were willing to look around this website when the site was a bit faster? So just remember, we are impatient people, and and if you can get your website to quicken up, then I would say that is the one tip I would challenge you to do. I think you'll see great results from that.
Yeah, our online attention spans are like half a second.
It's so sad.
It is. And to go off of that, once you already load the page, I would say to optimize your site, make sure it looks good as well as loads well. So that's what I would say.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again so much for joining us. We really appreciate you sharing all of your insights with everyone today. We hope that you can join us next week on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for PDR Pretty Damn Repetitive. Learn body mechanics, breathing, stretching, and more with Dave Streen from Edgy Tools. Lastly, we want to close out with a final thank you to our supporting sponsors, G Technique, Kosh Chemie, and PNS. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next week.